The desert night was cool. A full moon hung high, bathing the rocky landscape in silver light. Shadows stretched from cacti and boulders. The air was still, and the silence was broken only by the chirping of crickets. A sense of anticipation hung in the air. It was the calm before the storm. A coyote walked along a ridge. He was a seasoned hunter. His eyes scanned the ground. He was lean and muscular, his fur a mix of grey and brown. He moved with a confidence born of experience. Down below, a Doberman pinscher patrolled the boundaries of his territory. He was a young dog full of energy and loyalty. He took his job seriously, alert for any sign of danger. The Doberman's name was Rex. He belonged to a rancher whose property bordered a vast wilderness. Rex was the first line of defense against the wild. He was a powerful dog with a deep bark and a sharp bite, but tonight he was facing an opponent unlike any he had encountered before. The coyote, known as Scar by the locals, was a survivor. He had evaded traps and hunters for years. He knew the desert like the back of his paw. He was cunning and resourceful, driven by hunger and instinct. The coyote caught the scent of the dog. He paused on the ridge, lowering his body. His tail twitched as he assessed the situation, deciding if the risk was worth the reward. Rex too sensed the presence of the intruder. His ears pricked up, and he let out a low growl that started deep in his chest. He was warning the coyote this was his land. The coyote took a step forward, then another. He was testing the dog, looking for weakness. His eyes were fixed on Rex like two golden orbs in the moonlight. Rex held his ground. He growled again, this time louder, more insistent. He was a formidable opponent, but the coyote was undeterred. The dance had begun. The coyote made his move. He darted down the slope. He was a blur of grey and brown. His target was the back of the dog's neck. He was going for a quick kill. Rex was ready. He spun around. He met the coyote's charge head on. His powerful jaws snapped shut. He missed the coyote's throat by inches. The fight was on. The sound of snarling and snapping echoed through the canyons. The two animals were locked in a deadly embrace. They rolled on the ground, each one trying to gain the upper hand. The coyote was quick and agile. He used his speed to his advantage. He darted in and out. He landed blows on Rex's flanks. Rex was larger and stronger. He used his weight to pin the coyote down, but the coyote was tenacious. He refused to give up. Coyotes are wild animals. They are driven by instinct. They are opportunistic hunters. They will prey on pets. Dogs, even large breeds, are vulnerable. Dobermans are protective. They are loyal to their owners. They will defend their territory. But they are not invincible. The fight raged on for what seemed like an eternity, but slowly the tide began to turn. Rex managed to get a firm grip on the coyote's shoulder. He sank his teeth deep. The coyote yelped in pain. He struggled to break free, but Rex's grip was like a vice. The coyote knew he was beaten. He let out a high-pitched yelp. It was a sound of defeat. He went limp in Rex's jaws. Rex released his grip. He stepped back. He watched as the coyote limped away. Rex let out a bark. It was a bark of victory. It echoed through the canyons. It was a sound that said, "This is my territory." The desert was silent once more. The only sound was the panting of the dog. He had won the night.